I'm Jean Mamites, and this is my reflection on the podcast. This podcast gives us more information about what was mentioned by guests Guy Standing and Deirdre McCloskey about how universal basic income works. One of the economic issues that the Philippines faced as a long time ago was the issue of poverty and lack of education. Poverty is a state or condition in which a person or community lacks the financial resources and essentials from a minimum standard of living. Poverty means that the income level from employment is so low and basic human needs can't be met. Poverty in the Philippines include job creation, low economic growth, and high levels of population growth. The high rates of natural disaster and larger number of people living in rural areas contribute to this hunger problem and make food inaccessible for many in the Philippines. Like a tree, poverty has many roots, but among the many causes of global poverty, one factor stands out: education. Not every person without an education is, is living in extremely poverty, but most of those living in extreme poverty do lack of basic education. Those living below the poverty line will also be more likely to keep their children out of school, which means that their children will also have a greater chance of living in poverty. Education is often referred to as the great equalizer. It can open the door to jobs, resources, and skills that a family needs to not just survive but thrive. Access to high quality primary education and supporting child well being is a globally recognized solution to the cycle of poverty. According to Guy Standing, the basic income concept is that every man, woman, and child living in poverty would receive a regular payment from the government in the form of money with no behavioral requirements. That you don't have to do anything or to prove something as economic right, it will be a permanent citizenship right or a legal residence right. We can return to the question of defining what we meant by universalism, but the heart of it will be that everyone will enjoy basic income security. According to my research, from 2015 to 2020, the rate of poverty declined from 21.6% to 16.6%. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte aims to reduce the rate of poverty to 14% by 2022. But I think our government should focus on increasing our economy and helping those people who belong to the group of poor people, and that the purpose of our taxation is to provide funds or property to promote the general welfare and protection of its citizens, as well as to enable them to finance their various activities. The other guest said economic rights and basic income should be treated separately from public services. We should have strong economic service and a strong national health service, not just for those who belong to the lower class, but for everyone who needs it the most. We need better service for those who have a disability or disablement, better housing policies, and have a quality public state of educational system. And all of these things should be treated separately, but we need to move slowly to gradually build a basic income. On that issue, I think the Philippine setting change. The people living here should become more responsible for everything they do. We should promote education here and take all the opportunities that have given to us and don't take for granted every little things. And I think universal basic income is now essential. As what Sam Harris said, in a world of true abundance, you shouldn't have to work to justify life. And I agree with that. That's all. Thank you for listening.